It's said that revenge is a dish that's best served cold, and these games embody the spirit of revenge to the fullest. Each game on this list takes the raw emotion of vengeance and transforms it into a powerful storytelling tool that stays with you long after the credits roll. Whether it's a betrayed warrior seeking justice, or a fallen hero fighting for redemption, or a survivor turned predator, these games show the best and worst parts of revenge. So, to that end, here are 15 of the best revenge-fueled games that hit harder than you probably remember. Tekken 8. The Tekken saga has always been drenched in betrayal that helps it stand out from the rest of the crowd, but Tekken 8 pushes that intensity higher than ever. That increase in intensity can be felt across each punch, kick, and slam, as these hulking behemoths fight each other to the death. The generational curse of the Mishima family continues, and we find Jin at an interesting crossroads, continuing down the dark path of revenge much like Heihachi or Kazuya, or try to become a better man and break free from the cycle of violence. The fights here carry emotional weight beyond the tournament stage, and that makes this journey a lot more compelling to complete than prior entries in the series. Ghost of Yotei.
The swordsmith's daughter.
My name is Atsu.
Much like Ghost of Tsushima, Yotei is also a revenge tale, but a little more personal this time, with protagonist Atsu embarking on a journey to exact revenge against the Yotei Six, who murdered her family 16 years ago. It's a slow-burning narrative that takes its time setting the pieces and exploring themes, such as loneliness and the quiet fire of revenge, and how that eats away at a person, making this trek through ancient Japan more than just a simple plot of killing. I Am Your Beast. I Am Your Beast takes the concept of revenge and cranks it up to full throttle. You take on the role of Elliot Vance, a retired secret agent who finds himself being hunted down by the same powerful organization that he once served, which sparks a one-man war against an entire military machine. The bold visuals feel like they were lifted straight from a comic book, and the fast-paced action and relentless energy characterize the gameplay here. Now, what makes this story so captivating is how you feel the sheer power of the opposition that you helped become so strong, and also how I Am Your Beast feeds into a larger narrative about saving the world through your actions. Like a Dragon Ishin.
The
Yakuza series is known for its eccentric side activities, but Like a Dragon Ishin also proves that the franchise can make emotional narratives work in tandem with all the wacky stuff that's going on. Set in 19th century Japan, Like a Dragon Ishin reimagines familiar faces in a samurai tale of loyalty and vengeance. The protagonist, Sakamoto Ryoma, is on a constant hunt for the murder of his mentor Seriawaza. The dichotomous nature of the game means that you can spend one moment chasing conspirators through Kyoto's packed alleys, and the next you might end up quietly cooking or singing, but Like a Dragon's narrative ensures that it doesn't lose focus amidst the chaos. As you progress through the story, you will come across several long-running conspiracies surrounding long-standing political factions, and criminal circles which keep you glued to the edge of your screen at all times. Vengeful Guardian Moonrider. Vengeful Guardian Moonrider is a retro-style action game that puts you in the boots of a cyber ninja named Moonrider, who is solely built to serve a corrupt regime. Now, it doesn't take much time to realize that you were created as a weapon for control, so you turn against your creators to take them down, and it kickstarts the revenge story. The game's pixel art world is adorned with neon lights, buzzing machines, and pounding synth music that perfectly fits its futuristic tone here. It's a short, fast, and focused experience that's largely sold on the basis of the gameplay, but developer Joy Masher ensures that it never loses its emotional edge, as the slow burn narrative tackles Moonrider's growing sentient nature, and how he grapples with the many moral choices along the way. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 takes the vengeance that characterized the first game and amplifies it to a higher degree here. Senua isn't chasing a killer, she's wrestling with her own mind and personal demons. With state-of-the-art cinematic visuals and haunting sound design, this game doesn't just show pain, it makes you feel it through the use of towering giants, which are a representation of Senua's fear of death.
Spared him, and now he will take you where you need to go. You can do it.
Where you come from. Where you take the slaves.
I can't walk. How do you expect me to take you anywhere?
His pain doesn't matter. Make him walk.
We'll walk.
She has to say.
What makes Hellblade 2 truly unforgettable is how it transforms vengeance from destruction into acceptance. And this journey is punctuated through some beautifully performed sequences and fights that make you feel uneasy to the core. Sifu. Sifu starts out simple, where you play a martial artist who sets out to avenge a fallen master, aging every time that they fall in battle. The combat is fluid and unforgiving, demanding mastery, patience, and control, but what makes Sifu stand out is the way it makes you feel the desperation behind the revenge here. The permadeath mechanic sends you straight back to the starting point, echoing the feelings of frustration and discomfort that accompany the act of revenge. What makes the story stand out amongst the barrage of similarly themed adventures is how the protagonist navigates a complex web of corruption and betrayal, while tracking down the killers, and how the revelation of the lines between good and evil are not so easily drawn when they come into view.
I have spent 8 long years preparing for this.
The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. The Last of Us Part 2 is all about exploring the vicious cycle of violence. It's a cautionary tale that depicts how one revengeful act leads to another, and the only way to stop the cycle is forgiveness, which is extremely hard in a post-apocalyptic world that's devoid of any law and order. Ellie's journey is very personal and hits really hard, and the desperation for revenge can be felt amidst the screams and strings of gunshots from large battle arenas filled with enemies. The story of Abby is almost a perfect reflection of Ellie, and the beauty of The Last of Us Part 2 lies in the way these narratives intertwine with one another. Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Shinobi returns to its roots with Art of Vengeance, a modern reimagining of the classic ninja mythos. It's appropriately fast and fierce, and every strike and dodge in the combat is filled with purpose. You play as Kaito, the last survivor of a decimated clan who embarks on a quest to hunt down those who shattered your semblance of family. The visuals channel Japanese ink art and cyberpunk energy, giving it a style that's both timeless and futuristic. And that element of style also amplifies the storytelling at play. The hook behind this revenge plot is that it's not just about hunting down the individuals who destroyed Kaito's clan, but also about unraveling a deep conspiracy that goes far beyond personal vengeance, and making the required amends to not let that happen. Art of Vengeance also succeeds because it doesn't just give the power fantasy of being a shinobi, but it makes those actions feel justified. Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 feels like a fitting conclusion to the trilogy, thanks to a narrative that feels like a roller coaster, as the protagonist swerves through a bottle of emotions, using painkillers to drown in sorrow and reach rock bottom.
Stopped. I told you to stop. Fine.
What do you mean we're fine? Come on.
And then chasing redemption, all while the revenge tale of Fabiana Branco's kidnapping and subsequent death plays out and players are treated to one beautifully designed firefight after another. Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4 stands out amongst other entries in the long-running series because of a story that's just not entirely casual, but also infuses revenge that builds throughout the events of the campaign. Characters that you might just consider comic relief become super important during the latter half, and it treats us with what might be the best finale in any Grand Theft Auto ever, so definitely check this one out. The first Berserker, Khazan. The first Berserker, Khazan, tells the story of a mighty general who was betrayed and exiled by his own empire after being falsely accused of treason. The world around him is built on that betrayal, and every enemy you face is a force that contributed to your downfall, making the story extremely focused on themes of revenge. But victory doesn't come easy, and the first Berserker ensures that players feel the effort that goes into this redemption with white-knuckle fights that are pure tests of metal. It's a tough game through and through, and those who are into Souls-like experiences should definitely try it out. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor takes the idea of revenge and twists it into a distinct nemesis system, where you're the hunter and the hunted. You're granted a special ability that feeds on the wrath you bestow upon your enemies, and the protagonist Talion uses this ability to avenge the death of his family. What makes it so effective are the various abilities that you can use to kill or control these enemies, but that also turns you into a monster that's absolutely unrecognizable from the human that you once were. The result is a story that lingers in your mind after the credits roll, and the relentless quest for vengeance makes the monster and man indistinguishable. Watch Dogs. At first glance, it might seem that Watch Dogs is just about hacking. In spirit, it's actually about the tragic loss of your niece Lena's death. Aiden Pierce's journey through Chicago takes the player through one tech-fueled espionage after another, but the undercurrent of that loss remains constant through quiet moments sprinkled in between high-stakes missions. Of course, the revenge tale might not be as connected in terms of gameplay mechanics as other entries on this list, but Watch Dogs is certainly one of the more powerful stories of recent times.
I didn't know about any kids, alright? That wasn't supposed to happen.
I want you to think very carefully. Think.
Metal Gear Solid 5: The Definitive Edition. Metal Gear Solid 5's transition to an open world meant unlocking so many different possibilities, and it also provides a great way to slowly and steadily unfold the pieces that come together to form this revenge narrative. The protagonist, Snake, is a man who finds himself in a coma, only to awaken and find his military unit, Diamond Dogs, is in shambles. This kickstarts a grand journey about rebuilding his army and taking down the ones who were responsible for that downfall. Of course, the story can seem quite disjointed, and it doesn't take much to come up with obvious questions and possible plot holes. But the characters are charming, and performances are captivating, which makes the story compelling here. But the systemic gameplay loop at the heart of Metal Gear Solid 5 is the stuff that holds it all together.
Plant your roots in me. See you end as ashes. You're all diamonds.
We're not burying them at sea. What then?
We'll make diamonds from their ashes. Take them into battle with us.
A shining light to our brothers in arms, even in death.
We are Diamond Dogs.
And that brings us to the end of this video. A quick request before we conclude. We upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.